Hi, and welcome to Student Database Management System developed in Python using MySQL. Now guys, let me just take you through how this whole system works. We can search, we can reset. Supposing we want to search for a candidate, we can search for that very candidate right here. So I'm going to go for, let's say we want to look for Kuma. So say number is 5756 and 2. That's Kuma. Okay, let's click on search. There we go. Those are the information of Kuma right there. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to take you guys straight into Python development environment, and we'll put one of these together. So let's do that now, guys. And welcome to Python development environment. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to call in the following libraries. So let's import those libraries in, and that's going to be tkinter. Let's import all of the libraries there. Now the next thing is let's get tkinter.tk. So we don't need that for our tk. That's gonna be needed for the Combobox. Then let's say import tkinter again, and this time around we're gonna need that for Messagebox. Okay, I think that would do for all of the components we will need for the tkinter library. So the other one that we're going to need is going to be import Pymysql. That is going to be for my database. Now the next thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to create a class, and I'll call that class student. There. And right below the class I will then declare a function. I'm going to call that function, that is going to be self anyway. So let's say underscore initialize underscore again, open up a bracket, and I'll call this self comma root. Close that bracket, enter colon there, and press enter. I will now call the following. Let's say root dot or self dot root equals root. That's the name of my application. And what I want to do now is I want the title to be dead center. I don't want it in the far corner like this. I want it dead center. So what I'm going to do in there is I'm going to kind of like enter details of a blank space. Let's say blank space equals that. That's my blank space. And this blank space is going to be inside self.root. Press enter. And that will be inside title, self.root.title. Then the size of the blank space that I want is going to be about 200. Let's multiply that very 200 by the blank space. Look at the blank space, there's nothing in there. So place that in there. And now we then say plus the title. And my title is going to be student. Let's say database management system. I'll close that. Okay, that's fine. Now let's sort out the geometry and do that. Come in here, copy self, and paste that right underneath here. So the geometry is going to be dot self.root dot geometry and I'm going to define the size of my screen as 1350 by, let's go for about 800, plus 0 plus 0. The plus 0 plus 0, that's the coordinates. I'm going to leave the background color the way it is, so I will not enter anything for the background color. Now I'm going to round up everything. This should have been root. Let's copy this and paste it there. There we go. Save.root.title. Okay, so don't make that mistake. Alright, so the next thing I'll do is, let me create my frame. I'll just call that main frame, and the widget name is called frame as well. This main frame is inside save.root, and let's put a border there. This border, I'm going to make it about 10. Let's say equals 10. That's how thick it's going to be. Comma, and I'll put a width. I'm going to call that width about, let's take it out. That's 1350, comma, and I'll make the height, I'm going to make that 700. That is fine. Let's get it relief, and I'm going to make that rigid. You can make yours groove or whatever, but I just prefer rigid. Comma. Now I'm going to make my background. I will change that to cadet blue. I just want to use it to design my interface. I'm not going to be using it as an entire background for my program. So I just want it to show a line around the border. So that's all I want to use it for. So I'm going to round this up. Let's say main dot grid equals nothing. Okay, I've also just rounded that up. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to save it. Let's go to file and save. I'll call it student database. Okay, let's just call it student data system. There we go, and save. Let's run it and see how that's going to look. So run. Oh, there. You see, you can see the color, but I don't want that very color, like I said earlier. And one other thing that I noticed is, you can see it. I think I need to check the geometry. I made my geometry 800, and that's 600 there. So let's run it again and see. Let's see now. Right, that's much better. Now the other thing that I want to do is I am going to create some other here. So that is going to be, I'm just going to call that top. The top is going to be right inside my main. There we go, and let's change this to top frame. You can call your frame whatever you like. Okay, let's call that top frame. And this very top frame, I'm going to make the border, I'm going to make that about 5. The width is going to be 1340. The height of the very first top frame, I'm going to make that 50. The color, get rid of color. I want it to be back to control color. So I'm going to copy this. Let's give it a let's assign a role to it. The role is going to be 2 for this very one. That's my okay. Let's make that top frame 1. Okay, top frame 1. and the row will be, the column will be equals 0. So let's copy this. Copy, paste, paste. And this is going to be top frame 2. This very one here, the one in the middle will be 2 and 2. Row is going to be 0. Okay, and this one, top frame 3, I'm going to make the row 1. There. Okay, so let's change this one to 3 and 3. This is going to be the one in the middle. I can even delete that. Okay, just leave it like that. Right. Okay. This one in the middle, I'm going to make it the height 100 and change this to about 500. Maybe I should even change the name. Let's call it title, because I want to use it for my title anyway. So instead of calling it top frame, title. Right. And this one will just be 2. Let's just call it top frame 2. Okay. So I'm going to run it and let's see how it's going to look like. This one will be right at the, yeah, that will be at the bottom. This will be at the middle because this is 1, 2. Okay then. Alright, let's run it and see. Run. There we go. Alright, that's not too bad. Maybe this might be too high. We can move it up a little bit. Let's make it about 450 and see. I can always modify it as I go along. Just want you guys, yeah, that's it. That's what I want you to see. Okay, and this is where my buttons are going to be. So they don't have any grid sets, but this one doesn't have any grid set because that is the main frame. So that is fine. So the other thing I'm going to do now is to set another frame. So this other frame I'm going to set, let's put it right underneath here. That is going to be known as, I'm just going to call it left frame. So left frame is going to be resident inside top frame 2. There we go. Right. And this is left frame as well. There. And now, let's see. I'm going to get this one packed. Let's say pack, and the side is going to be to the left. Close that. I'm going to copy this so that I can speed up things. Copy and just use it to create the other frames. Okay guys, I just had to speed that up. Those are all of the frames. Have a good look at it. That's how they all look like. Let's put a bit of space here so that you guys don't make any mistake while you're typing it out. There, those are all my frames. And underneath here, I'm going to start creating my widget now. There, if I run it, this is how it's going to look like. It doesn't look pretty for now. But when I start entering all of the data that goes in there, you will see what I'm talking about. You will then see the beauty of my artwork. Alright, so let's come down here. I'm going to create the very first widget. The very first widget is going to be right inside the, let's just draw a line here. That's going to be for my title. And I'll call that LBL title. You can call this whatever you like. So come right down here. And let's say self. dot LBL title, and this very title I'm going to, let's change this, get the spelling right, and this very title is going to be resident right inside the frame that is called title frame. So let's say the widget itself is going to be called label. Now I'm going to enter a font. Font equals area, and the size is 56, comma. So let's enter a name for it. So the name is going to be Students Management System. So let me just copy this. Come right down here. The text is that. And what is? Let's make the border about equals 7. Close that. I'm going to get rid of this database because there might not be enough room due to the size of this. Alright, so let's run this up. Come right down there and just say dot grid equals role is going to be 0. I don't even need any of that because it's going to be there alone, but it's alright anyway. Column is going to be 0. Close that. There. Let me run it now and you see how it looks like. Role is 0. Let's put a 0 there. Okay. Run again. There we go. Now I want this very frame, I want it stretched across, so I'm going to get it parted. Let's come in here and say comma. Part to the x-axis, I'm going to make it about 132. So let's run it and see. That should be very good. 132. Flush to the edge, so that's fine. Okay, so let's come down here. That's it for the title. That's taken care of. I'm going to create other widget now. Paste, and the other widget, that's going to be for labels and so on. Let's just say labels and entering widget. Right. Might as well copy this very widget here. Come right down here. Paste. And I'm going to get rid of this. It's not going to be 54. It's going to be about 12. And right here, that's going to be student ID. There. And what else do we want? That's fine. We want it anchored to the left. Okay, anchored to the west. Equals west. Alright. Now, what else do I need to do? Let's come in here and let's change this name. Change that to student ID. One word. Same thing here. And this student ID is going to be a child of left frame 1 is very 1. Copy that and paste it right in here. Alright, column 0, row 0, column 0, and get rid of this. I'm going to run it and let's see how it's going to look like. Go to run. Yeah. And that is it right there. Look at that. And beside it, I will now add my text box. So copy this again. Come right down here. Instead of text box, it is actually called entry in on or in Python it's called entry. So change this one to txt, or yeah, okay, txt. It's about time I start changing it to ent, txt. Okay, now this one is going to be on column 1. Okay, we get rid of this, we don't need this. We'll get rid of this as well. And the width, let's get rid of this. The width, that will be, let's make that equals 40, comma, what is, let's justify the text equals to the left. Right. Okay, let me just run it and see how that's going to look like. Okay, just go to run. There we go. And there we go. Look at that. Alright, so let's copy this. I'm going to copy this and just change things around. Then we'll just speed that up. Copy, come right down here, paste, and come right down here. And the next one is going to be, I'm going to make that first name. Alright, and change it all around. It's first name as well, first and first, and this one is first name as well. And let's change this row, is going to be row 1, 1 and 1. Let's run that as well. Let's see, that's good, that's very good, looking good. Alright, now what else do we need to do? Let's add, okay, I'm going to add 4 more. So let's copy this, and I'm going to even change one of them to a Combobox. So that's 6 in total. Let's come right down. Let's get that indented. Alright, that's fine. So this is 1, so this will be 2, 3 and 3, 4, this is 3, come on, and 4, and this will be 5. Then I'll just change the details around, 5 and 5. Let's run it and see. Okay, that's fine. So what I need to do is, one of them I'm going to change this one. I'm going to change it to gender. So with gender, I'm going to get rid of this very text box. So let's just change this to CBO gender. And we can then speed up the rest anyway. So let's come in here, change this one to Combobox, and that Combobox is going to be frame 1. That's good. And this is fine. I'm going to get rid of this, and let's get rid of, let me set the state first. State, I'm going to make the state equals read only. There, comma. Okay, let's come into the width. I'm going to make that about 39 and get rid of all of this. Now let's copy this, paste it there. Okay, the values that I want in there, my very first value, that is going to be, let's say values first, value, close that, and this very value is going to be equals, and I'm going to enter nothing first, comma, then the first one is going to be female, and the next value is going to be male. There. Those are the values taken care of. Now let's set the first value is 0. There's nothing there, so the very first value I'm going to say dot current self dot cbo gender dot current. So the current value is going to be 0 there. And let me run it and you guys see what I'm talking about. There we go. Oh, let's see what is the error. Oh, this, sorry about that. This is supposed to be combo, right? And this, I thought I typed it in there. That's meant to be combo anyway. Okay, let's change that to combo. Combobox. It should actually be ttk.combo. Right. Let me put a space. Oh no, that's the wrong one. Okay, now I get it. I was typing X weird. Alright. Oh. It was meant to be here. Okay. That was a silly mistake. So copy all of this. Let's copy these ones. I'll cut them off. I'm going to come in here and paste them in here. And this is going to be combo. Grab this. Paste that here. Right. And here, this was meant to be something else entirely. That's meant to be mobile phone. So I'm going to change this one to TXT mobile, since I've started working on that. Might as well just change it all. There we go. That's mobile as well, and that's mobile. Move this up, change this to mobile. Right. Okay, so this one needs, let me just copy all of this and put it there. Copy and let's put it right here. Okay, so that's correct now. Right, let's run it and see. I'm sure it's fine now anyway. Okay, that's fine. Alright, that's good. Yeah. Okay, now let me just speed up this once and change the details around. Okay, that is it, all done. So have a good look at it. I'm going to run it so that you guys see how it's going to look like. There we go. Alright, that's fine. Now let's enter some data in here and one here. And let's come in here. I'm going to copy. Most of what I'm going to do now will include the use of combo and so on. So we'll come down here and paste that in there. Come right down and let's change this around. That's going to be the subject area. The very first subject, I'm just going to call that. Let's go for database. Right, and let's just copy it around. Database here, another one here, and here as well. And right here. Okay, now this is going to be on row 0, column 0, and this will be row 0, column 1. And the content in here, the database, let's say the content in here, that's going to be optional unit. Optional unit, and here I'm just going to enter yes. yes, no, and complete. No, and let's come out here, comma, and that will be completed. Yeah, course completed. And the other thing is to change the frame, so that will be left frame to left, and this one as well, left frame to left. Okay, so let's run it and see how that's going to look like. Let's see. There we go. So let's reduce that to, I'm going to make that maybe about 9. There we go. So let's copy this. Copy, paste it underneath here for the next one. And this is 0, so this one is going to be 1, 1, 1. The next one will be 2, 2. Then I change the names around. Come right down. That will be 2 and 2. So one more. 0, 1, 2. Okay, one more. It's 4. Paste. And this one will be 3 and 3 here. There. So I'm just going to run it. There now. We change the names around. Let's see first. There we go. That's fine. So I just need to change the subject around and copy and paste that here. Alright, that's fine. So I'm going to have to speed that up. Okay, that is it. All done. So let me just show it to you guys. This is for the frame on the right for the subject, and this is the very first one on the left. So I'm going to run it and let you guys just see how it looks like. Let's get rid of these. Let me just take them off. If there's no problem, that's fine. If there's problem, I'll put them back. I've already align it to the west anyway, so that's fine. Let's run it and see. There we go. Look at that. That is fine. So what I need now is I need some buttons here, and I need my tree view here for the table. So the tree view will push this to the left. Right. So let's create the buttons. That's a bit easier. I'm going to come in here, copy, come right down here, paste there. So this will be for my table. I say tree view table. And here will be for buttons. Right. Just come right down so that you guys can see it all properly. So the very first button that will go in there, I'm just going to call that self.btn admin. Okay, self.btn, that will be equals button, that's the widget. And this button is right inside frame, that will be top frame, I think. Yeah, top frame. Top frame 1. Comma, and let's get it padded. Get it padded to the y-axis, that will be 1, comma, border equals 4, comma, and font, copy that somewhere, and paste it there. So the size of the button, the font size, I'm going to make that about 16, comma, then let me get it padded to the, yeah, let's say x-axis as well, make that 24. What about the width? The width equals 8. Text on it equals add new data. New data. And for now, that is it. Close that, and I'm going to run it up here. Let's just say dot grid equals row 0, column 0. Copy, paste 0, 0, 0 and 0. Oh, button should be here. That's Treeview. Cut that off, paste it in here. My Treeview will be up here. Okay. Now, let's see. I'm going to run it first before I think of any other thing. Let's run this and see how that's going to look like. Indent. It's a tiny little bit indentation required there. Oh, comma here. Come on, man. Comma. Yeah, that's it. Run. Okay, that's my button, though I can see some errors. What's that error? Okay, I think that is my error there. I have a comma there instead of full stop here. There. Alright, let's run it again. Let's see. There we go, that's fine. So the button is fine. Right. I think I need 8 in total, so I'm just going to copy this now. Let's copy this and change it around. Alright, the column will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. There. So let's run that and see. Oh, there's an error. I mean that. Okay, let's run it again. There we go. Those are all my buttons in place. So I just need to carry out the amendment and get back to the. Okay, let's get that sorted, and I'm going to have to speed that up and get back to you guys. Okay, so let's do that. This is going to print, and I'll get back to you guys as soon as I'm done. And there we go. Those are the lines of codes for the button, all taken care of. So I'm going to run it now. Run. Let's see. There. So all that is left now is to take care of the table here. So for now, I'm going to call it the end of the first part of this tutorial, and I'll see you guys shortly.